Learning English is an exciting journey. But let's be honest, it's not always easy. Many learners put in so much effort, but they still feel stuck. They spend hours memorizing words, studying grammar, and practicing pronunciation, yet when they try to speak, something feels off. They forget words, they hesitate, they feel nervous, and then they start wondering, why am I not improving? Well, let me tell you something important. It's not because you're bad at learning languages. It's not because you're not smart enough. The real reason? Most learners are making the same mistakes over and over again. And the worst part? They don't even realize it. Most people think learning English is just about studying hard, but that's not the case. You can study every day and still see no progress if you're making these mistakes. But the good news? Once you know these mistakes, you can fix them. And when you fix them, you'll start improving way faster. Have you ever tried to memorize a long list of words? Maybe you wrote them down, repeated them 10 times, and even tested yourself. But a few days later, when you actually needed those words, they were gone. Your brain went blank. This happens because you're learning words in isolation, without any connection to real life. Think about it. When native speakers learn new words, they don't memorize a dictionary. They hear words in conversations, see them in books, use them in daily life. That's why they remember them. If you want to really remember new words, you need to learn them inside sentences, inside stories, inside real situations. Imagine you learn the word frustrated. If you just memorize frustrated means feeling annoyed and impatient, you'll forget it soon. But what if I tell you a story? Yesterday, I was trying to buy a coffee, but the machine didn't work. I pressed the button again and again, but nothing happened. Then, I tried another machine. It also didn't work. I was so frustrated. Now, you feel the word. You can imagine the situation. Next time you feel the same way, the word frustrated will pop into your mind automatically. That's how real vocabulary learning works. So, from now on, never just memorize words. Learn them in real situations. A lot of learners think in their native language first, then try to translate into English. And guess what? It slows them down. It makes speaking harder. And sometimes the translation doesn't even work. English is not just a direct translation of your language. Sometimes words don't match exactly. Sometimes the sentence structure is different. For example, in many languages, people say, I have 30 years. But in English, we say, I am 30 years old. If you translate directly, it sounds unnatural. The solution? Start thinking in English. At first, it feels difficult, but here's a simple trick. Talk to yourself in English every day. When you wake up, describe your morning routine. I'm getting out of bed. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. When you're walking outside, think, the weather's nice today. I see a man with a big dog. That car is really fast. The more you practice, the faster your brain gets used to thinking in English. And when you stop translating, your speaking becomes faster and more natural. So many learners don't speak because they're afraid of making mistakes. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me? But let me ask you this. How do babies learn languages? They make tons of mistakes. They say words wrong. They mix up grammar. But they don't care. They keep talking, and that's why they improve so fast. And guess what? Nobody laughs at babies for making mistakes. The same goes for you. No one expects you to be perfect. No one is going to judge you. In fact, most native speakers will be impressed that you're learning their language. The only way to improve is to speak, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. So, next time you feel nervous about speaking, remember this. Mistakes are proof that you're learning. Grammar is important, but too much grammar study can actually slow you down. I know learners who spend years studying grammar rules. They know every detail, past perfect, conditionals, passive voice. But when they try to speak, they freeze. Why? Because they never practiced using the grammar in real conversations. Grammar should not be something you study separately. It should be something you absorb while listening, reading, and speaking. Instead of memorizing grammar rules, try learning grammar through examples. Instead of studying the present perfect tense, read a sentence like, "I have never been to Paris." See how the grammar works inside a real sentence? This makes it easier to remember and easier to use in real life. And the best way to improve grammar? Listen to native speakers. When you hear correct grammar again and again, your brain automatically picks it up. If you want to speak English well, you need to listen a lot. Many learners focus only on speaking and grammar, but they forget that listening is the key to fluency. Think about babies again. Before they ever say a word, they spend months just listening. Their brain is absorbing words, sentences, and pronunciation. Then, when they finally start talking, they already know how English sounds. If you want to improve your English fast, listen as much as possible. Every day, spend at least 15 minutes listening to English. You can listen to podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube videos, movies, or TV shows. At first, you might not understand everything. That's okay. The important thing is to keep listening. Over time, your brain will get used to English, and understanding will become easier. Learning English takes time. A lot of learners start with motivation, but after a few months, they stop. They think, "It's too hard. I'm not making progress." But here's the truth. Progress is not always visible. Sometimes you feel like you're not improving, but your brain is learning. You just don't notice it yet. The key to success? Keep going even when it feels slow. Even if you only learn one new word a day, that's 365 words a year. Imagine how much you'll know after 2 years. The most successful learners are not the smartest. They're the ones who never give up. The key to success? Keep going, even when it feels slow. Even if you only learn one new word a day, that's 365 words a year. Imagine how much you'll know after 2 years. The most successful learners are not the smartest. They're the ones who never give up. But let me ask you something. What usually makes people give up? Most of the time, it's not because they're lazy. It's because they feel stuck. They think they're not good enough, or that they're doing something wrong. They compare themselves to others. They see someone speaking fluently and think, "Wow, I'll never be like that." But here's the truth. That fluent speaker you're comparing yourself to, they also struggled. They also made mistakes. They also wanted to give up, but they didn't. They kept going. And if you keep going step by step, you'll get there too. One of the most powerful things I ever did for my English was simple. I stopped comparing myself. I told myself, this is my journey, my pace, my progress. And from that moment, everything changed. I started focusing on my own small wins. One new word, one clear sentence, one moment of confidence. These little wins build up, and suddenly you realize you're improving. Another reason people give up is because they don't feel motivated. And let me tell you something important. Motivation doesn't always come first. Sometimes action comes first, and motivation comes later. You don't wait to feel inspired. You just start. Do a little bit every day, and slowly, the progress will motivate you. You'll start feeling better, more confident, more excited to learn. That's how you build momentum. Let me give you a simple idea that changed my learning experience completely. I started using what I call micro sessions. Instead of sitting down for 1 hour to study, I broke it into small parts. 10 minutes of listening, 5 minutes of writing, 10 minutes of reviewing vocabulary, and that's it. Suddenly, it felt easier. I wasn't overwhelmed. And the best part? I was more consistent. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Studying English for 15 minutes every day is better than 3 hours once a week. Your brain learns better when you give it regular practice. Just like going to the gym. If you go once a month and lift heavy weights, you'll be sore and tired, but not stronger. But if you go a little every day, you build strength. Language learning is the same. And there's one more thing people forget. Rest is part of the process. You don't have to study nonstop to learn. In fact, breaks help your brain absorb information. So don't feel guilty if you take a day off. just come back the next day. What matters most is that you don't quit. If you miss a day, that's okay. Just keep moving forward. Now I want to talk about a powerful mindset shift that helped me a lot. I stopped thinking of English as a school subject. I started thinking of it as a tool, a key, a door to more opportunities, more friends, more experiences. When you treat English like something exciting, not something you have to study, it becomes easier and more fun. You're not just learning to pass a test. You're learning to connect with people, to tell your story, to understand the world better. And when you make English part of your identity, you start using it in your daily life. You think in English. You talk to yourself in English. You laugh at jokes in English. That's when learning becomes natural. You stop feeling like a student and start feeling like a speaker. Just keep listen, talk, and read. Buddy, I swear you will learn one day. Just believe in yourself. I hope this video helped you. Buddy, you can subscribe. Hell yeah.